Hello, good morning, and welcome to Something About Being Out. Here on the shortest day, which is the 21st of December, right in the middle of winter. And recently, I've been fishing for pike. The pike are in the canal and in the Lake District that I'm fishing for. I've lost quite a few and I've caught one. The mouthing the baits on the circle hook. So yeah, mainly been fishing for pike recently. I've been on Grasmere, Rydal, and thinking about going back to Rydal to discover it and get to know it. I had a look at Ratherheath. I put my name down for Windermere and District Angling Association. I was just buying day tickets, but the amount that I'm paying, I want to become a full member, because at the moment I'm only a member of the canal, so it just gives me an extra string in my bow. So I'm gonna tell you everything about what I've been doing, what I've been using. I've been using pike bones, the inline ones, with drilled bullets, and then my made up traces. My traces are made out of similar to 7-strand pike wire, and with that you can knot it so you can put your swivel on. It's supple, so that's what I've been using. Mainline, I've been using Gardner GR60, and I've been using the green in that one. So yeah, I buy everything from eBay. My inline pole float, my inline pike floats, not pole floats, pike floats. So yeah, I've had one probably around about £6 in a particular basin. I've also seen kingfishers, otters, and a lot of canal boats. I've only seen one person who came down to the canal who just fishes for an hour and a half. He's had a couple out, but I think with this cold rain going in, the pike haven't been feeding properly. I've been using lamprey, which is a good blood bait. I have roach and white bait. So today I'll need to go into Lancaster to get my maggots for the winter. So I'm going to travel into Lancaster this morning. I've got all my Christmas presents, everything is sorted. So I've been using Sonic Vader rods and Sonic Vader reels. The Vader reels are big pit reels matched with the Del Kim's the Solar Worldwide Pod. The back grips I use are just Ron Thompson, they do the job. I did have the solar ones when I had my motorhome, but they actually fell to pieces because I used to leave them set up in the van. So yeah, the push grips as well, so they hold your rod, so if you get a savage take your rod won't move. The Solar Worldwide Pod is very strong and sturdy. Yesterday I saw some flock birds. I think they were corn buntings, I've also seen pinkfoot geese, but not so many raptors. I've seen a couple of buzzards, but sometimes here in the front field we do get good views of barn owl when the voles are good in the field and the frogs, and there's plenty of food for the barn owls. They will come into the field. We also have quite a few tawny owls around this area. You never see them, but you hear them hooting. I have seen them. They do roost in trees in the day. Over not so far from where I live, there is long-eared owls, or there was, so I might go over to see them if I get the time, but I would like to do more fishing. So today is really wet and windy, and I'm just have a stocking up day because I need some maggots. So yes, so what I've been doing, I've been feeding maggots and using roach or lamprey or bluey or joey mackerel as bait. Sometimes cutting it up and using tails or using a full bait. And I like using the drill bullets because they're in line and they sit above your swivel, and it's quite a nice presentation. And I also use rig stops, 2 rig stops at the top. I did a silly thing last time I went and I cast into the tree. I do have public liability insurance because I am a professional angler for something about being out. So I have that, so that's all good. So when I've been pike fishing in the Lake District, I've just been getting day tickets from Windermere and District Angling Association. You just get a day ticket online. I've been up to Fish Killington, but I do believe you have to go into Kendal, into the tackle shop there to purchase your tickets. I have my PAC licence, I have my rod licence, and I also have the British Waterways Wanderers licence, which covers all the canals around the country. Sometimes you, on top of that, you will have to buy day tickets if there is a club that owns that particular area. Some of the areas that I fish are free. I fish the River Ribble for free, and I also fish the Pooh River in Pilling, which is also free. I've actually spoken to the Environmental Agency, and they say you can fish brooks and rivers if you have the landowner's permission. You have a lot of that on rivers because the farmland adjacent. If you get permission, then you are able to fish. Yesterday I had a walk down the St Michael's stretch of river. It was pretty bleak and a windy day. I walked from the member stretch onto the day ticket stretch, and I walked to where it ends, and then I walked back again. So it was a nice walk, and then I walked up the civil service stretch, and that brings you, there's a mile of river there. Where I walked on the west bank. So on the east bank is different clubs have it. I think Warrington, some of it will be free. Pretty much like the River Ribble, you have the Boulevard. That's all free. where the River Darwin comes in. Behind the Shores Arms is free. So, but then where the nature reserve is, Brockholes Nature Reserve, that is Prince Albert. You can walk on the footpath, but you can't fish because it's a syndicate. And well, it's a club called Prince Albert, which I have got my name down for. And there's also Radak, so a couple of clubs, and I've got my name down for both of them. I think it's like a 2 or 3 year wait. I'm also going back onto Prezor with Alkali. I've got my name down. I should be in this spring. There's everywhere has a waiting list, and I've just put my name down on the waiting list for water, so that could be next year. So my next fishing trip will probably be on the Lancaster Canal, or the River Ribble, or the River Wyre, and I can travel further afield, which we will do. We'll go up north and we'll go and fish Rydal. We're going to set off at 6 o'clock. We're going to check the weather, and then we're going to go and fish Rydal. It's lovely as Rydal, and you can fish that on the Windermere and District Angling Association ticket. I think it's £12 per session. So if you're only going half a dozen times in a winter, you know, it's one of them, is it worth getting a membership? But if you start course fishing on Rotherhithe and fishing the other tarns, like there's one called Clay Barrow, I think. I don't think it is called that, but other fishermen do fish there. So yes, so that's my current fishing. When I go and stock up, I'll buy a little bit more lamprey if I can get hold of it, and also buy a few more roach. You can get pike packs, which are like bluey, mackerel and roach, which are a selection. These are all frozen baits, and then I put them in my car the night before, and then they're ready for fishing with. What I find is, for staying on the hook, sometimes circle hooks, sometimes they are better frozen, but on the cast sometimes they do come off, but that's when you need your bait elastic just to elasticate it on. A bit like sea fishing style, but you can do it in such a way where it looks pretty natural. So everything needs to be natural. I also use Imitations roach, which they are a big lure companies. I can't remember just which Savage Gear they are, the Savage Gear, and they do imitation roach, which are absolutely brilliant. They really do look like roach. I have pipe bungs with swivels on the bottom. I will use those, but I do prefer inline floats, and then I can use my drill bullet. But even with a swivel one, you can use a drill bullet, or I also use 1 ounce leads, and the cast's brilliant, especially when the wind's behind you. So yeah, it's like Des Taylor says, practice your casting. My casting is pretty good, but the more you practice, the better you get at it. Yeah, when I cast into the tree, it was a good cast, but it hit a tree branch as it was coming down, so I cast a bit hard, I think. So, and the reason why that happens is I fish on big rivers and it's a big cast. like on the ribble, you can really hit it and it'll just go mid-river. But when you're fishing likes of the Wyre, the Dane, small tributary rivers, then you can soon easily cast over them. So a 10-foot rod is ample, but I was using 12-foot rods, 2.5 pound test curve cart rods for pike, because the pike will fight, some of them will tail walk, and yes, it's good fishing. There's lots of places on the canal, but with the locals sometimes you do get issues because people don't like fishing. But I really like my fishing and I'll never stop fishing until anything changes, which I don't think it will. I've been for a walk this morning around a local syndicate. Nobody's been fishing it right throughout the winter, not a soul. So that's just gone to digital membership, but I do fish on there. I have permission from the owner. I've fished quite a few different places. I'm not a member of the Railway Lake at present because I want to fish further afield on the Lancaster Canal. I would like to fish in Yorkshire, in Ripon, on the canal, on the Ripon Canal there. So there is quite a few different places that I want to go to. Winter time I have a lot more time. So yeah, that's pretty much my pike fishing. Also, my baits are a little bit big for perch, but perch, like Des Taylor says, you can wobble a worm, you can use small white baits, lobworm. The smaller fish are better for the perch, and you can also catch perch on little lures. They will chase little lures. So I've been continuing with my book. It's getting bigger and longer, and eventually I will get it published. There's a lot of writing, there's a lot of chapters, and that will get sorted into a book, hopefully in the new year. So yeah, I've wrote all sorts. I've wrote 2 books, The Invisible Angler and A Man Called Chestnut. The Invisible Angler is a bit like an autobiography, which is all true and to do with my life. And A Man Called Chestnut is totally fictional, but could be real, but I'm classing it as story fiction. I've cleaned all my gear, pressure washed it all off. So that's all ready now. When you're fishing on the canal, it's very muddy, so everything gets covered in mud. So we pressure washed the drive at the back, so I pressure washed all my gear, including my bait boxes, old maggots, got rid of them on the compost heap, washed them away, sorted it all out. So yeah, brilliant. So that's what I've currently been up to. So I have been fishing most days for like 8 hours. I didn't go yesterday because I had prior appointments and that needed to be sorted, and it is sorted, and it will get more sorted in the new year. So everything is working fine. So it leaves me to say all the best, season's greetings, enjoy your food, turkey, tinsel, decorations, opening your presents. I will be watching the King's Speech this year, and I will also be eating well. I don't drink alcohol anymore, just non-alcoholic drinks and tea, coffee, water, and the odd can of apple ties and pop. So I do suffer with a little bit of diabetes, so I have to diet control it, so I have to be quite careful with my sugar intake. I do like Twinings tea, which is ideal to take when I'm fishing. I add the odd Snickers, keep the sugar levels up. I have a good diet, I think I do anyway. I do like the odd pie, the odd sausage roll, but then I eat fish, chips, you know, carbs, limit the carbs. So yeah, I've lost quite a lot of weight as well. I think I'm around about, yeah, I'm a good weight at the minute. I could do to lose just a little bit more, but couldn't we all? So yeah, I will be fishing over the festive period. I'm not going to watch any football matches. I won't be stewarding, so I'll be concentrating more on my fishing, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice seasonal time of year. When we find gaps in the weather, then I'll be out there. Even if it's raining, I still fish. Just put my brolly up, have my wet gear. It can be a bit miserable sometimes, but there again, you get beautiful sunny winter days. So I've been listening to the Barbel podcast on Spotify, which is a really good listen. There's a guy who fishes the River Ribble. Can't just remember his name off the top of my head. The Barbel Project it's called. It's a good watch. I had it recommended by Des Taylor. I will be watching Des Taylor tonight if indeed he is live, which he should be. It was live last Friday, and I think he'll be live tonight. I will check today. So yeah, that's a little talk. General wildlife. I've seen the odd barn owl in the last few weeks. That was near a river and in the dark early morning, when you are likely to see a barn owl. That was on the hedgerow. I've seen the odd rabbit, I've seen a few hares, and I've also seen the odd. Yep.
What?
Leave it on, I'm recording.
Oh, sorry. I want to see the...
Right.
What are you recording?
Me? Yes. Thank you. Sorry about that. My mum just came in and switched the light off. I do need light on because the natural light is not good in the room. So on that note, my mum's going to see a friend. I'm going to go to Lancaster and get my bait. So it's from David, something about being out. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next live. Bye bye.